In a quiet African village, there is a river that no one dares cross after dark. Parents warn their children never to even say its name once the sun sets. Fishermen avoid it. Farmers leave offerings at its edge. Because for centuries, people believed this river demanded one thing: a human life. At first, outsiders thought it was just myth, superstition, folklore. But then, people began to vanish. And when the truth was finally uncovered, the entire community was shaken to its core. Because the river itself was never the killer. The truth was darker. This is the story of the river spirit that demands human sacrifice. In the 1970s, a young boy named Ebi went swimming with friends. Witnesses said he was laughing one moment, and the next, he was gone. No thrashing, no scream, no bubbles, just gone. The villagers searched. Divers combed the waters, but his body was never recovered. The elders whispered, "The river has taken him." A year later, almost to the same week, a young girl disappeared too. She had gone to fetch water at dawn. The clay jar was found floating. She was not. Her mother later said she had begged her not to go near the river that morning. Why? Because she had seen a woman standing in the water, calling her daughter's name. Over the next decade, the pattern became undeniable. Each year, almost on the same week, a child would vanish. No body, no trace. The villagers began to believe the whispers again. The river spirit has chosen another. By the 1990s, fear had consumed the village. Parents pulled their children from school during that cursed week. Some families fled entirely. Others turned to priests who sacrificed goats, chickens, even cows at the river's edge. But nothing stopped the deaths. And then, one year, the unthinkable happened. 2 children disappeared together. That was the breaking point. The village concluded the river was not taking lives at random. It was demanding sacrifice. Historians who visited wrote about the ancient story that centuries ago, during a great famine, the village chief had offered his daughter to the river. That rains came after her body vanished beneath the waves. That ever since, a life had to be given, willingly or not. Most outsiders dismissed this as superstition. But strange things kept happening. Fishermen swore they saw faces in the water. Children claimed to hear voices calling from the banks at night. And every time a storm broke over the village, the river swelled, as if alive, as if angry. But here's the twist. When researchers dug into colonial archives, they found something shocking. Old records from the 1800s. During the Great Famine, yes, the rains did come back. Yes, the chief's daughter vanished. But it wasn't the river that demanded her life. It was the chief himself. Desperate to hold power, the chief sacrificed his daughter, then told the people the river required it. When the rains returned, they believed him. Fear became culture. Culture became law. Every generation after him carried the lie. Sacrifices were not demanded by spirits. They were ordered by men. In the 1960s, engineers drained part of the river to build a dam. What they found was horrifying. Skeletons, dozens of them, arranged in circles. Each skull had smooth polished stones placed in the eye sockets. The workers called them the crying stones. Scientists tried to study them, but every photograph came back distorted, faces blurred, lights streaked across the film. Some refused to return to the site. The government sealed the area. The river reclaimed its dead. But even now, locals say the victims never stayed silent. On stormy nights, fishermen see open mouths screaming beneath the water. Mothers hear children calling from the banks. And in 2003, a group of boys dared each other to swim across at midnight. 3 returned. The fourth, the strongest swimmer, never made it. Witnesses said he screamed once, then disappeared beneath the waves. When his body washed up days later, his eyes were gone. In their place, 2 polished stones. So what was it? A cruel lie, passed down by leaders desperate for control? Or has the river itself absorbed centuries of blood and become alive? Even today, no one dares swim there. Children are warned to stay away. And on stormy nights, when the river rises, villagers say they still hear the voices of the sacrificed calling from beneath the waves. And if you stood there and the river called your name, would you answer?